Hello and welcome to the first lecture of this new section on analyzing business processes in this course, Master in Business Analysis. So in this new section, we will give you an in-depth view of how to analyze business processes. After having gathered and understood the business needs, how to analyze the business processes. We will talk about that. And this lecture we will begin talking about how to analyze existing business processes, workflows, and system, basically to identify inefficiencies, bottlenecks, and areas of improvement. So that's what we will do in this lecture. So how do you think you could go about analyzing these existing processes, workflows, and systems, and then identify inefficiencies, bottlenecks, and areas of improvement? Any thoughts? See, this you need to take a lot of steps, but you see these steps that I will outline here now. Because for identifying these inefficiencies, bottlenecks, and areas of improvement, and through analysis of these business processes, there's a lot of work that you need to do. So first you need to begin by defining the scope and objective of your analysis, right? And what that is and what you need to do, we will definitely talk in some part of this lecture and then the next lecture. Then you need to collect the data, obviously. Once you define the scope and objective of your work, you need to collect the data, map the processes, analyze the process. Two different steps, mapping and analyze. One is the visual part, one is analysis part. And for analysis, you can use various analytical techniques that we will take you through. And also engaging stakeholders is a very helpful thing that you need to do. And then develop recommendations and implement and monitor in terms of what processes should you consider. So let's take a look at each of these in some detail and starting with defining the scope and objective. So how would you go about defining the scope and objective of your analysis of business processes, workflows, etc., etc.? Any thoughts? See, basically, you need to do two things. One is to clarify your goals. And in that, you need to determine what you aim to achieve with your analysis. Are you looking to reduce costs or increase efficiencies or improve customer satisfaction or enhance productivity? So what is the purpose of your analysis? That must be laid out very clearly because that will sharpen your search and analysis. Then you need to identify key processes. So choose specific processes, workflows, and systems that you want to analyze. And a very important thing is to prioritize those with most significant impact on business performance. So choosing and prioritization is one hell of an important step in defining your scope and objectives. Let's look at these two things in little more detail, partly in this lecture, and part we will carry that forward in the next lecture also. So, how to determine what you aim to achieve with your analysis? What you need to do is to gather insights and objectives from key stakeholders because they are the people, they are your internal customers. And how do you do that? You conduct interviews or meetings with the key stakeholders. And who are these stakeholders? They would be like the managers, team leaders, and employees involved in the processes. So the focus is on the processes that you want to analyze. And there you would probably cast your net wide at this point of time because you have not yet prioritized. And also you can use surveys to collect input from a larger group of stakeholders and also do workshops and focus groups to collaboratively identify objectives and expectations. Then what you do is you prioritize, as we were saying, process, workflows, and systems that have most significant impact on the business performance. And that requires a systematic approach, which we will lay it out here in this slide and then carry this forward in subsequent lectures of this section. So what you need to do is start by identifying key business objectives and make sure that they are aligned to your strategic goals. Then gather data and input by collecting quantitative and qualitative data. Evaluate impact on key performance indicators to assess impact on business performance. and prioritize based on impact and feasibility. Okay, and there you can use an impact versus effort metrics. We will take you through each of these steps, so not to worry. Then consider risk and urgency to by assessing risk factors and urgency, and prioritize based on stakeholder impact, understand stakeholder needs and expectations, and develop a prioritization plan in which you create a detailed plan. And what that would be, we will take you through as we go forward. So that's what you do to prioritize these processes, workflows, and systems. So what is next? So having looked at each of these steps, having looked at overall steps that you need to do, what we will do now is to take a look at the first step of identifying business objectives in the next lecture, and if the time permits, something more. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on analyzing business processes. I hope you continue to learn new things, continue to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer a question, and also download the PDF file to take a look at anything that is of specific interest to you.